Hey everyone, and welcome. Have you ever wanted your code to actually talk to you? I mean, not just spit out some boring, static text, but messages that feel alive, that are personal and packed with real data? Well, today we're diving deep into the art of Python string formatting. We're going to turn that rigid text into something flexible and powerful. Let's jump right in.
So let's just get right to it. On the left, you see the old way. It's a mess, right? A jumble of quotes and plus signs. It's tough to read, and honestly, it's a real pain to write without messing something up. But on the right, oh, that's clean. It's elegant. You know exactly what it's doing at a single glance. That's the difference between a cluttered workbench and a perfectly organized toolkit. And today, we're mastering that toolkit.
So, what's the big deal? Why is that old method so bad? It really comes down to one thing. Manually slapping strings together with plus signs isn't just ugly, it's basically a trap waiting for you to fall in. Okay, so when you're mashing strings and numbers together with that plus sign, you're creating a couple of major headaches. First, you're forcing your brain and anyone else who has to read your code to do this mental gymnastics just to figure out what the final message will be. And second, you're just asking for bugs. Forget to wrap that number and string, boom, your program crashes with a type error. It's just so brittle. So you've got to be thinking, right? Come on, this is Python, a language known for being elegant and clean. Surely there has to be a more graceful, a more powerful way to do this. And of course there is. In fact, we've got two fantastic options we're about to break down. First up, let's talk about the seasoned veteran of the group, the format method. For years, this was the go-to, the reliable workhorse for Python developers. It gives you a really structured way to build out your text templates and then just plug in the data. So how does it actually work? Well, it's kind of like a fill-in-the-blanks game for your code. You write out your string, but you leave these empty curly braces, FTTH, as little placeholders. Then you call the .format method on that string and just pass in the values you want to pop into those blanks. Simple as that. And just look at this example here. See how clean that is? The template itself, report for status is super clear. And then the variables, user and status, they're just passed in at the end, in order. The best part? It handles converting numbers to strings for you automatically. So goodbye type error headaches. But then, back in Python 3.6, a new challenger stepped into the ring, the F string. And let me tell you, it showed up and pretty much immediately became a fan favorite. Why? Because it's fast, it's simple, and it's just incredibly readable. F strings, or formatted string literals, are a total game changer. All you do is put a little F right before the opening quote of your string. That F is like a signal to Python telling it, hey, pay attention. I'm about to put some variables right inside these curly braces. And then you can drop your variables, or even entire expressions, right where they belong. And this is where the magic really happens. Look at that! The variables user and status are sitting exactly where they're going to show up in the final string. There's no looking back and forth to the end of the line. And even better, you can run actual code inside those braces. See how we're calling the .upper method right on the status variable? It's concise, it's intuitive, and it's just so powerful. Okay, so we've got the reliable veteran, .formatting, and the flashy new challenger, the F string. So which one should you actually be using? Well, it's time to put them side by side. Let's see how they really stack up. All right, let's break this down. First up, readability. F strings win hands down. Having the variables right there makes the code's intention crystal clear. Next, performance. Again, F strings take the prize. They're just plain faster. Now, Python version, this is a big one. .format has been around forever, so it works on much older versions of Python. F strings, you need Python 3.6 or newer. Finally, flexibility. Now, this is where .format has a cool niche. Imagine you have a template string that's not in your code. Maybe it's in a config file somewhere. You can load that up and then use .format to fill it in later. That's a perfect use case for our veteran method. Okay, with all that in mind, we can build a really simple, super effective playbook. This is your guide for making the right call every single time. So here's the bottom line. If you are writing code in a modern Python environment, which, let's be honest, most of us are, your default choice should absolutely be F strings. They're easier to read, they're more concise, and they're faster. They just make your code better. This all boils down to a super simple decision tree. First, ask yourself, am I on Python 3.6 or newer? If the answer is yes, just default to F strings. It's pretty much that simple. But there is one really important exception. If you're building a string from a template that might come from, say, a user, format is actually the safer bet. Why? Because F-strings can execute code, and you don't want to accidentally run malicious code from an untrusted source. In that one specific case, format is your friend. For everything else, it's F-strings all the way. All right, let's wrap this up. What are the big things to remember? First, make F-strings your go-to in modern Python. Your future self will thank you. Keep dot formatting in your back pocket for that old legacy code or for those very specific user template cases. And please, for the love of clean code, it's time to say goodbye to manually sticking strings together with the plus sign. Just remember, choosing the right formatting tool isn't just a technical choice. It's about writing code that actually communicates clearly. You know, when you master tools like this, your code doesn't just run, it communicates. And it really makes you wonder, as our tools get more and more sophisticated, how long is it before our code isn't just formatting our text, but maybe writing the whole conversation itself? Something to chew on. Thanks so much for tuning in.